Welcome to our lovely future humans, our 5D collective, to all of those who love to be yourself the smart way. Nervous system sovereignty, self led. Welcome aboard, 5D collective. So, with that, drum roll please. We have our first digital product for those of you who like to do the resilient stuff. And so, it's a guided journaling experience to support self awareness, mindset shifts, and intentional living during the holiday season and beyond. And it is 60 total, but you can always add more. I'll add more too. Holiday journal prompts for reflection, expansion, resilience, and human potential. The infinite higher human conscious potential, your A game. I'm here thanks to Jesus, God, my mother, my twin, my sister, the younger one, and then every single bit of everyone. And above all, thank you, body. This body right here. So we all have a nervous system, and that's why, as Stephen Porges, one of the greats, says, it's not the event, it's the person's nervous system. Furthermore, as Dr. Daniel Siegel will point out, and he informed me I was a differentiated self at my 3 years of age when I said, you can't spank me, it's in my body, and yeah, integrated brain right here. So with that, you will be a person who is heart-centered, and that space is why you can do the journal in the holidays and beyond, and with that which is called pausing, reflecting, realigning with expansion. We're not realigning in a way that is actually misaligned, because you can't self-grow and be yourself without alignment. Yeah, so reflect, realign with expansion and resilience of your body, mind, heart, self connection. The real kind, not the pretend kind. Be gamers, that's not what we are. Be gamers are having fun, 3D, 4D, let them have fun. We're having fun honoring God's perfection, honoring that which is, thanks Jesus, the heart and the heaven in the body, and forgiving. I forgive, we've forgiven everyone who doesn't want their A game. There's no monsters, Lucifers, none of that. There's actually ignorance. Yes, it's not bliss. It grows humorous as you grow emotionally intelligent, because you realize people are choosing completely to ignore the red flags and not to honor themselves. So they betray themselves, not anybody else. And so, God, he doesn't test you. He encourages, comforts, supports, and strengthens through the ones who are his spokespeople. Yes, prophets, gurus, all the spiritual ones, enlightened ones. We use the words all the same, because it's not actually divisive. It's we're smart enough to realize, wow, our ancestors found many different ways to tell us how to be good. The whole evil thing, we don't need the word from philosophical religious textbooks, and we don't need to dehumanize people or make it sound like they're big and strong or something, because they're not. You see, I'm going to completely reframe that word. In fact, advanced societies, there's no advanced society if it doesn't have emotionally intelligent people, because society is made by the people, for the people. Yeah, it's by the people, that's it. And there's no way that emotionally intelligent people would not be able to spot any of the B gamers. Dan Martell, they're not dangerous, mediocre people. They're just mediocre. That is all. So, self-awareness, mindset shifts, intentional living during the holiday season and beyond. You can find it in the description box below. PayHip is the shop that I will be using. So it's a heart-centered space where you pause with yourself, reflect. Am I doing great? I'm a healthy perfectionist here. It's quite humorous. I can always look to the past and say, I could correct that I won't do it though. So, we accept that we realign with the expanded version of ourselves. 0-1 right here, attached panicky. 3-7, no shame or submission, because my mother allowed me to be all my healthy anger, fear, and all that. Then I got to become Maria, and by the time I was 8, I said, I'm going to help people when I grow up. Thanks, Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, Buddha, come on in. High five, all the ascended masters. I am a mystic after all. I'm not actually science. But scientists have cracked the code, yes, a long time ago. If you listen to Hippocrates, he says, Hippocrates, however you pronounce the word, a wise man knows health is cherishable. People say they want, health, healing, but then they don't want discipline. Yes, a lot of kids I met in high school. Then I got to college. Now I'm a grown woman. Please, they get actually humorous. That's why I said it doesn't get to where I have to forgive because I forgave. No, it's actually, oh my God, are you seriously left mode people? They're non-bilaterally integrated. It's not even hilarious. No, it is hilarious. The right laughs at the left and we don't laugh at them. Usually they don't know who they are. We laugh with our 5D collective at, no, that's not nice. Ice Age, Manny, Diego, Sid, Peter Pan on the Island, Pinocchio, we know who they are. It's okay. So we create resilience of our actual body-mind connection. It's the ventral vagal state is your healing power. It's only once you're sovereign of your nervous system because you're self-led. So all integrated, and therefore you're not going to complain about your traditions or any of that because we don't find people half safe. There's Patrick Chan for people who need a place to call home where they are still working to reparent themselves. When you are reparented, you're a grown version. 11, 12 flight, 14, 15, 16 fight, freeze of all ages, and none of them are actually dead. So all your child parts are alive. Thanks, Sue Martin. I have a lot of people I need to thank. Every single bit of smart scientists out there who have let me know our human makeup. Amazing. Your inner healing is you navigating your ventral vagal state. The people who don't know how to do it, yes, I see how amazing they are. They get to be rewarded. No, they don't. It's just God doesn't want any of his children to be alone. See, the children who actually think there's good and bad children, they were actually distorted. Because I wasn't. I have a twin. We fought like cats and dogs. We still do. You better bet I won't turn my back on any of those who are children of God and God's perfection. Science proves it. So the heaven, it's with your eustress, not distress. The brain, your mind, your thoughts. Yes, no monsters. Actually, people who don't want to revisit things with good therapists, but would rather tell us about them on screen and play fucking Russian roulette. And yes, I'm cursing because it's a different time. It's the year 2025. I'm not in Elvis's time. So I love Jesus. He didn't have science. I do. And he suffered because he didn't know about the differentiate, Maria. Thanks, Dr. Dan. So differentiation is easy when you know how to self-regulate. You got yourself aware, accountable, regulating consistently, and you don't say, "Oh, I did. I'm not even that." You actually begin to laugh. You get to a certain point where you're like, "This is ridiculous." Masculines don't test feminines, the empowered kind. This is your feminine. Your masculine's your brain. Half of it is this. Without the feminine over here, so empowered feminine, divine feminine, divine masculine. Yes, please. We're not gods. Let's stop. They make me think of the Greek, Roman gods. Yeah, they all had what was jealousy, insecurities. Those are all insecure people. They need a therapist. Whenever you see emotionally immature people, they're not half safe. They're just buffoons. I always saw the clowns. My facade friend, I can thank him. The only man I ever yelled at in his face. All I asked you to be yourself. And now I know why. And he will still think that I'm way too, serious. Yes. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just not going to hide shit under the rug. So you process the emotions that come up. You have a good time and you're going to continue growing that. You stress. Thanks, Jesus. So you differentiate because you have a self-led. Nervous system sovereignty, welcome aboard. Again, we don't play, let's pretend to use words, but I do know that I don't use words according to dictionary. So do not read into things assuming to know what I'm trying to say. You can always ask questions. Don't use any stereotypes, assumptions. None of that is actually going to work at any level if you want to live in the flow state. That's all. If you want to live in a not flow state, that's a different story. So we do know there's different soul age groups. Welcome aboard for those who do enjoy the Enlightenment Soul Age group. And again, you'll find the PayHip link below. You can follow so you can get updated with the updated future digital products. And I wish you all not only a happy Merry Christmas Eve and Merry Christmas tomorrow, and happy holiday season, and all the holidays are here, but Jesus taught me to love and forgive, and God too, and which is the reason why I'm very, very sad to all the ignorant human beings out there. But one thing is for sure, there's no monsters inside any of them, because if there were, then, it would be complete chaos. Instead, what we have are the B-gamers who like to, with their little gratification hits, just fill the screens and continue doing what actually Schopenhauer appeal to masses. Yes, large audience, but there's two types of masses. There's the emotionally intelligent ones, which are also mental intelligence. Then there's the ones who I would want to say they're dumb, but they're not, because they're 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 did everything it could to help them to survive in an environment that wasn't safe. Then from their 8 to 16, they chose. By the time they were 11, they got their second allo parenting. I know all of this thanks to Dr. Danny Siegel and more than just him. So the minute they chose their next allo parenting, instead of basically treating each other with kindness, they chose to continue their unfinished business, which is actually normal. Emotionally immature people they can choose maturity. But that's if they have a whole self. If they, on the other hand, are cut off from their emotional body, that's a whole different story. So let's not make it into a yes or no, a good or bad. Once you become a grown human being at the time you're mid-20, if you're common sense because you were raised right, which means you're not distorting any of words with good and bad, you don't need them. You know who has integrity because they will always walk a walk and talk a talk. Spiritual, enlightened ones, the bypassers just dress up in cloaks. And dresses, all of them. They don't actually say, who are you? What's your name? Great, that's your identity. Now, do you know how to expand your personality patterns? Great, that doesn't mean you change. You actually are more of yourself, which is why your temperament stays the same. And then, thanks, Dr. Dan. He's amazing. And then you just keep growing, and your playground, it's right here, because that's where you don't make up shit. So, people who like to make up shit, yep, they're fighting superheroes and supervillains. Those of us who are grounded in reality. Humanities and social science is my background. Society is made by people. Technology doesn't make it. Advanced technology just means we created something more than the wheel. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. And when somebody doesn't know how the brain is made or the flow state, they haven't learned enough of neuroscience, neurobiology, and mental health professional information. They're helping every one of our brothers and sisters who wants their A game to do so. And then the ones who are going to continue bringing their A game, they say, yes, emotional resilience, yes, mental resilience. Yay, we get to be mature grown-ups who have fun and no chips on the shoulder. It's really amazing. Codependent people, on the other hand, they need Terry Real. He's amazing too. So, in the meantime, I'm going to go now because it's celebratory time. Mwah. Big hugs to everybody. I honor Jesus, God, and Holy Spirit, the Trinity, with my good Christian Catholic upbringing, and in the true way of that, which is every single child of God is perfect, and you don't have to believe in God. Dark matter, dark energy, don't implode. Thank you, Neil deGrasse, for your science, because you've mentioned it. There's not another person like you, and you won't be reborn in trillion chances. I will be reborn. I even know who my future husband is, like future. And people who don't know what a mystic is, all like, where is it? No, future is not Maria. I don't even know what my name is, but that's okay. And my family likes to tease me because I didn't see all of them in my future. And I said, look, I don't spend time in a time that is yet to come. I'm just happy I know who I'm going to be with. And then I'm sad because I don't know where everybody else is going to be. But that's for a future episode. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.